Hello everybody, welcome back. It's been a while. What happened was I put away all of my neonatal stuff and, excuse me, because I put it all away, 2 days later a new baby showed up. So we're on to baby number 3 for the year. It is August 18th now. She arrived late last night. I have a few back here. You can see. So they're moving out very, very shortly because they are too big for those baby cages. They all have toys. I thought was going to keep them nice and calm for this video, but apparently now they're playing with them. It's a good thing, but not for the video. And our new little friend is only about 2 days old, and last night he had black fur. And this morning he's starting to get the brown fur, so I was right. He's going to be a chestnut or an agouti. And that's what the nest looks like. And inside, people from Tisol donated a little lammy and a little, got a pea pad in there, and I have a backwards Sherpa sock in there. And what I also do to make sure these little single guys stay warm, let's see if I can make you see it, is I have a seed mat there. And so the seed mat is on half of this cage, and so when I feel the bottom, this side is cool, and then that side is warm. Excuse me. Thank you to Tisol for all the donations. The babies and the adults are loving it. So I have my handy dandy Javex microfiber towel here, and that helps when I'm holding the baby. I wrap them up in it. The fuzzies keep them a little warm, and also any milk that is on the baby's chin gets absorbed very fast, so they stay nice and dry. Oh my goodness, we are just being a ruckus. So little baby today, right down there. When he feels the cool air, he's going to start moving. Or not. There he goes. There he is. Little nose. Hi. It was just lucky I had this fur left over from last time I had a pregnant mother that was brought in. And the last time my guys were shedding heavily, I groomed them all and saved some of the fur up because this is so insulating. I typically have to use my dog's fur. Hi. So, there's a little baby. So she's only 3 days old. And she was found and brought to the SPCA, and the SPCA brought her to the vet, and the vet didn't have a nursing mother or a staff or anybody. So I'm going to see, they're going to put her down. They contacted a lady at Tisol to see if they could do anything, and then Tisol was like, what do we know about this? It's they contacted a lady who does a lot of animal rescue, and they contacted Rabbitats, so it was a bit of a do-do-do. So right now, I'm trying to stimulate this little guy to go pee, because I don't know if he went pee overnight. He wouldn't last night. So I'm just dabbing at his bum. Mommy would lick. And he probably peed in there, is what I'm guessing. We're going to weigh him. So before feeding, he's 55 grams. Guys, I'm trying to film here. I'm gonna wrap him up in his little bunny burrito. And now we got a little bunny burrito. And then over here, oops, I have a little chip dip warmer. And so what I do with the chip dip warmer is I keep some hot water available at all times. This aside. I want this to be body temperature warm for the baby. And this is a nipple that we get from Australia. And when you donate to Rabbitats, it helps us to get more nipples like this. I can find the name. As I pushed everything aside. Hold on. Found it. So that's the company that we buy them from. And they're just, I don't know if you can even see it. They're the best ones. So it's All Things Bunnies nursing nipples. And they're the very best ones that we have. That aside, I've tried the Miracle nipples for kittens, and I just don't find I get the same kind of latch. But the babies will basically inhale this nipple when they get good with it. They'll take it right to the back of their throats, and the nursing nipple, they can't do that. And it's shaped a lot more like a mother's nipple. So I'm testing this. Perfect. There you go. And I'll bring you a little closer here. I don't want him too close to the light. So I'm just putting a little bit on his lips to get him used to it. And I have him, excuse me. Tisol, my babies love those new toys. Thank you. You see I have the Javex there, and it's already doing its job, so he doesn't take a full dip. Because they get something called milk scald, so it will get away, it will take away the fur and cause irritation, like a dermatitis. And so when we're done feeding, I'll wet this with a bit of water and I'll wipe his face and I'll dry it really quickly because they chill. Oh, good baby. Very easily. Just trying to make sure you have good view here because I haven't used this view before. Good baby. Now this is only his second time with this nipple, so he's getting used to using it. Normally they end up taking it about that deep into their mouths. This little guy is just like, this is rubber. This doesn't taste like mom. And even though I heated it first in warm water. Oh, good baby. Starting to suck on it. When they're chewing, that's not so great, but when they start, yeah, there we go. Let them swallow, because it took quite a bit there. And there's his little whips. So at this point, until I've had them about 48 hours, I don't consider them if they're going to survive or not, because so much can change, especially with a solo baby. This guy got KMR before he came to me, which was pretty much just calorie and water, because he needs hydration. That's one of the biggest killers, is they come to me dehydrated and the organs have already shut down or are starting to shut down, and you can't go much from there. They gave him KMR, which was helpful to hydrate him. And then what I'm feeding him now is called Wombaroo. And we get it from Australia. It's specifically designed for rabbits. It's the rabbit formula for Wombaroo. And Wombaroo does a lot of different formulas for a lot of different animals. But it's one of the closest you can get to mother's milk as far as rabbits go. And I have the greatest success with it for babies actually wanting to eat it versus the KMR. Even KMR that has whipped cream added to it, the liquid whipped cream, which is 1 can of KMR plus 1 tablespoon of whipped cream, is the bare minimum you can do if you're trying to replace permanently. But this one, you don't have to add anything else. It's just hot water. And then I just store it in the fridge like you would deli meat. So 3 to 4 days. I don't reheat the same portions. I reheat it once in hot water, not microwave. And whatever we don't get used today, we're going to toss. If I have some older babies who I had nursed and they like the Wombaroo, I'll give it to them as a treat, so I'm not wasting it. And then if I try to freeze it and then thaw it again for them, they don't like it when it's been frozen. Good baby. See, he's trying to go after that nipple. He knows it's there and can smell the milk. Good. He can't hear me right now. I'm just used to talking to the babies, because as they get bigger, their ears start to perk forward. So as we're so close, I'm going to dump this and get fresh, because oftentimes at this point, it seems, when we're so close, they end up being like, oh, cool, I'm going to just take all of it now. And then I don't have enough to give them, and then they lose track of their eating. So thank you to everyone who has donated to Rabbitats. Thank you to those people who have been donating to me individually with items. Dollarama cards really helps, because a lot of the stuff here that you see is actually from Dollarama. That little nest that he was in, that's Dollarama. This cloth was Dollarama. All my paper towel was Dollarama. The notebook that I keep track of their weights, that's Dollarama. And I don't get Dollarama gift certificates. So those are very, very helpful to help me with these guys. I get a lot of their toys as well from Dollarama. Not edible things, of course, but things they can chew on and destroy and be safe. Their beds, those come from Dollarama. Look at you go. Now at this size, because he's only 55 grams, the lowest weight that Wombaroo rabbit knows of is 65 grams, because that's usually a 3-day-old baby that has come from having its mother feed him. And since this guy is actually under their minimum weight, 65 grams, they're supposed to get 11 milligrams a day, or sorry, 11 mLs a day. And so I'm feeding him multiple meals a day right now, so 5 meals a day to try to make up for that, because this is harder. The mom's nipple will produce a lot more milk quicker than mine is, because they know how to suck it. And this takes a lot longer, and they end up getting sleepy. And they don't want to eat anymore because it's too slow. Just like if you were to eat your meal slowly over an hour, you would get full before if you just eaten it quickly in 15. So eventually he's going to stop wanting the nipple and just want to sleep. So people are like, oh, you want to feed them once or twice a day? No, that's not true. When I have a whole litter, so this will take me about 15 minutes for one baby. And so if I have a whole litter, sometimes it's 45 minutes to an hour to get everybody fed. And then you're doing that 4 or 5 times a day, depending on their age. And you're darn tootin', I brought them to work back in the day. Oh, that temperature reader that I have over there was Dollarama, and the glass container I have the milk heating in was also Dollarama. This guy's almost at 2.5 mil. That was good. Maybe a bit more. Very good eater. Is squeezing me? We're done here. It's Weirdo's turn to run around, and I'll put Peg Leg outside. And we'll get the little new bunny in the hallway in the bathroom. So you see the milk mustache on his chin? So I gotta wipe that off with a little bit of warm water. This little burrito, it really, really helps to keep them controlled. And I can still feel him kicking just like a little baby would when he's trying to get to his mom, because that stimulates their milk production. But he's not falling, and he's also very warm in here. Little cute guy. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can get one more into him. What's the water temperature at? Good. So the water temperature tends to be 120, and the milk through the glass ends up about 100. If I do this quickly. If I leave it for a while, they both equalize. That's why I'm always checking on my wrist. And I've tried giving them cold milk, and they hate it. Oh, he's on his track. Hold on. I'll lift him for you. He's figured it out. He's got a big glob of milk right there. He's just got to work it out, and then I'll touch him with the Javex, and boom. His face is mostly dry. That's Cece. A little paw moving. Oh, he's suckling. Good job, babes. He pulls away like that, I'll stop and let him have a breather, because obviously he doesn't want much more. Getting tired. When they get old enough, they'll take this nipple in their mouths and they will suck the plunger down. So I have to make sure I have fresh plungers, otherwise I can't do that. But I allow them. If they have that suck feature, they'll just, and then we'll move up to a 3 cc because I want them to have as much as possible when they get that suck feature going. This guy's doing really, really well. Look, mustache. Oop. Does he want anymore? Do you want more? So even though these are single-use syringes, I'll use them 3, 4, 5 times depending on how many babies I have. This guy I'll probably use it 10 times until the plunger gets sticky. And I wash them every time with hot water, but it degrades the syringe. The ones I really like are the O-ring. This is the classic plunger, but the O-ring is just a single piece of like hardened rubber that goes around, and oh my god, those are amazing. But it's hard to find them in the 1 cc, 3 cc, and 5 cc range, because that's what I need. You can see like 10 cc is no problem, but especially for these guys, because you have to go so slowly, and sometimes like right now the plunger gets stuck, and then you press and press and press, and all of a sudden it just shoots out, it gets everywhere, and sometimes babies can aspirate. So the O-ring is really important. Yeah, so this plunger will not be a multi-use plunger because already it's getting stuck. The rubber's gotten too hot. Okay, this baby's done. He's like, I'm not sucking anymore. So I'm just gonna dip my cloth over here into the hot water that's been heating the water inside of here, that's been heating the milk inside of there. I'll come back over here, and I'll just press that until it kind of goes everywhere. So it's very, very hot, and I'll unroll my burrito. Get down to his face. You can see his face is just covered in milk. Covered in milk. And then we're going to come in here just like Mom would. And he's going to squeak. And we're going to rub his face. Because Mom does this after they eat. And I'll come in there and I'll dry. Because they chill very easily. Okay. Oh, we got a big belly. Look at that big belly. All right. Let's see what your weight has increased to, Before you pee on me, please and thank you. 58. Good. So we're at 58. Went up 3 grams. Now, sir, will you please pee-pee? So same deal as I'm going in here like before. Just dab, dab, dabbing, and there he goes. And that keeps the nest clean. That it? So at this age, they can't pee or poo without mom stimulating them. Oh, he's still peeing. That looks like he didn't pee overnight either. He wouldn't pee for me. And he wouldn't pee earlier either. That's funny. See how much pee he's had here. There you go. That's a lot of pee. Is that it? Is that it? Did he just lose all that weight we just put in him? Which I wouldn't be surprised by. Yep. He's down to 45 grams. Buddy. 47. Okay. So we're going to make a note that he's 47 post-pee. That's why I always try to get them to go pee first. And he's skinny again. Look at that. That was all in the bladder. Okay, back into his nest he goes. Nice warm nest that he now won't pee in. And that stays clean longer, and it also means that he won't get nest box eye, which is another name for conjunctivitis. Or sorry, conjunctivitis. And there used to be multiple treatments for that, but no longer. So now you basically have to use Visine pink eye, which is the last antibiotic on the marketplace. I also want you to note something. That container I have him in, you notice all the air holes? So I have air holes up here. I have multiple air holes. And I have air holes going along the side. If you don't do that, condensation builds up and they'll get wet from their breathing inside there. So that's very important. But yeah, so that is feeding the baby. So he's going to go back in there and have his little nap. I cannot believe how much pee. That's just ridiculous. That was a lot of pee, even for a normal baby. So yeah, I have a note on here. He's starting at 47 when I feed him next. And then we'll see what he does from there. I have good hopes for this guy. He is a fighter. We'll see how it goes, because you never count your chickens. I always wait 48 hours. 48 hours, and we kind of figure out what's going on, if they're weak or not. But yeah, he seems like a fighter. Anyways, have a great morning. Bye.